Looking at the cryptocurrency situation here in Singapore now, despite more profit making by cryptocurrency owners over the past 2 years, there has been slightly less enthusiasm to invest in 2023. The Independent Reserve Singapore polled 1,500 people here for its latest cryptocurrency index, and it found that crypto ownership, well, that has slipped 3 percentage points from the year before. Nearly half cite price volatility as a barrier to investing. 1 in 3 point to the lack of consumer protection and regulation, while 29%, well, they found the landscape simply confusing. Millennials may have invested a little bit less than they did last year as well, but crypto remains the most popular among them compared with the other age groups. These 26 to 45-year-olds held nearly half of the overall investments. Still, interest has picked up among the youngest and oldest age groups. Gen Z crypto owners between the ages of 18 and 25, they account for 15% of investments, and that is up from 10% from the previous year. Baby boomer investors, meantime, more than doubling to 24%. As for more conservative Gen Xers who are now in their mid-40s to mid-50s, their digital currency investments dropped by more than half. The study says that this age group invests more diversely across traditional products like stocks and bonds. But optimism is returning, especially for Bitcoin, the digital currency that most respondents are familiar with, an event that halves the supply of Bitcoin every 4 years. That is happening next month. Almost half of respondents believe this and the recent US green light on spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds could help push the cryptocurrency up 5% in value to hit $100,000 by 2030.
I think what we'll see as a result of ETFs is continuous demand building over many years to come, as we saw with gold. So since the first gold ETF, demand for gold continued to increase for the following 7 years. You'll see a similar thing, and that's what I think the boomers and the older crowd are responding to.
Our cryptocurrency may be gaining ground as an investment asset among some people, but is not doing so well at the cash register. Using the currency as a method of payment is not quite catching on in Singapore. Nadirah Zaidi finds out why.
This pet food and supply store has been accepting payments in cryptocurrency since 2022. It only accounted for 2% of their transactions in the first year. Now that the hype and the novelty have worn off, it's at almost zero.
It could be it's the first time that they're using it, right? It took them a lot longer to pay using cryptocurrencies as versus the other traditional methods like Visa or MasterCard, right? So after 1 year, we saw that it kind of like tapered off slowly. There wasn't any customers paying using cryptocurrencies.
Some crypto holders also appear to be hanging on to their cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a way to beat inflation.
Bitcoin is already perceived as the store of value, especially because it only has 21 million Bitcoins in total. So that it's perceived as the way to combat inflation because of the lack of increasing supply. Yes, it can be volatile, especially against the different currencies, but this is the way that the young people see as a way to combat the inflation.
But some businesses say offering payment options for cryptocurrency is one way to reduce costs because of lower transaction fees. It's also easier to transact overseas with it.
So in some markets, it's difficult to have access to Visa or MasterCard. So if you're coming, say, from Africa or from, Philippines, for instance, it might be difficult to have an international Visa card, and then it might very often be rejected by the international payment gateways because the likelihood of fraud is higher.
Cryptocurrency company says this form of payment also works better for big-ticket items.
So if you are a company that is accepting payments of at least 6 figures, those ones are the ones that have a fit to use crypto because they want to accept it now rather than through a bank transfer. Or if it's an overseas transfer, especially for the leasing companies, they will have to wait many days for the payment to come.
Experts say Singapore is ready for more cryptocurrency activity, but they warn of the risks in using apps and online wallets and the threat from scams.